I love it.
Just like an individual, this is a well-known axiom in martial arts and things like that, that if you know you can destroy the other person, you never get challenged most of the time because you just carry it with you, and people go, they just avoid you.
It's an
If
energy
society
thing.
was the same, yeah, if society was the same, and we're quite rationally correct, just like Ayn Rand or anybody was, to advocate that, not to burn off energy in altruism and lose your own center because you're strung out about what society is doing. But it is quite rational to say that the principle that an individual warrior can have in his being, and he avoids any hassle because something just exudes from him, you're going to be dead. Well, if society had that with its predators, and that's what these people are, they are definitely predators, they wouldn't be there. They'd dissolve of their own kind because they would just, there's an old Star Trek episode, I think it was called Day of the Dove, I'm not sure, in which they actually sense an entity who's feeding off the conflict and war and violence. And the whole show is one incredibly eloquent narration about how to get rid of this predator that, as long as it's hiding and sucking off the energy, everybody's just at each other's throats murderously. And in fact, it even deals with it, even if somebody's killed, this entity can restore them to life just to continually keep conflict going. But finally they work it out that this entity is causing this trouble. And the moment that they find it out, they're halfway to the cure. They're halfway to actually getting it, to go elsewhere and abandon its work. And that's exactly what we need to do. Discover who it is that benefits from the extrusion, the emanations of this dark, evil energy of animosity and all of this, and just simply cancel it by laughing it off, like you're saying. Defense exists. It's an archetype. There's nothing you can do about that. But it's your attitude toward that which is meant to be offensive. It loses half its power when you laugh in its face. So you're quite right about that. You don't have to be. See, defensiveness can be born out of fear. Hide under the bed. Hide under the staircase. What? Of the mansion that is yours by right? I'm going to shiver under the bed of the mansion that is mine by right? Mm-hmm. That doesn't make any sense, right? So there's a lot of you can what's the word I'm looking for? It's like you can weaken the enemy, right? Let's just say, by simply not taking its big shadow seriously, like everybody else is. They're cowering in that fear. You've already helped to minimize the problem by mentally and attitudinally not being in fear. And that's spiritual work. There's no amount of physical work that's going to help you with that, really. Well, I guess it does to a degree, but it's certainly something that you have to focus on the phenomena of fear, discover its anatomy, realize how it's worked in your life, where it may actually come from. When you were this big, these giant Twin Peaks people in your life were badgering you and threatening you with their will, right? But once you work that out, in whatever way, you start to see, oh my God, I could have kicked their ass back then, or I'm going to forgive myself for not kicking their ass back then because I was only 4 years old. I couldn't do anything about it. So there's many layers of, self-forgiveness, understanding, reason, but also empathy that works. And when you don't have any of that inner work, then that's why you can hear people who are normally very, very high IQ. Right now, we could turn to channels where people we would normally respect talking about, I just can't wait to get the vaccine. Yeah, it's appalling that I've had to wait this long. You plonker.
Yeah, it's
unbelievable. Amazing. I know.
There's got to be an intelligence of spirit. This is when I did a little post on my Telegram answering that question just the best that I could. I gave 8 reasons what I think why so-called smart people are falling for such obvious nonsense. Look in the academic world, look in the media world. These people, they can talk well, they can speak well, they've got letters after their name, they're the professionals, they're under the lights, yet they're the dumbest people walking the face of the earth. And you go, well, what's up with that? Well, there's more to life than just the IQ knowledge of how to read something, memorize it, sound like you know what you're talking about, write a test, get an A, and then get a job. Intelligence is something that you can do adaptively in the moment, where you have holistic thinking. You're connected to not just your brain, but your intuition. And as you said, the archetypes are lined up and working for you. You're not in this illusion of the ego only. You are the imperial self. And so spiritual blindness is just one word of saying it, is one thing that I think that happens. And so those people who are empowered, those people that listen to this show, those people that go and take your courses, Beth, and read your books, Michael. I mean, these are the people that are at least trying to be proactive about working on that level. This is what I got. This is what woke me up. When I was watching Origins of Oracles back in the day, it snapped me to attention because it resonated on a level of, oh, there's a mystery I've got to explore. There's questions that we thought we knew, but there's other answers for them. I'm either going to go, no, I don't like that, I'm going back to the officials, or I'm going to go, this is interesting what this guy's talking about. I'm going to go read these. I'm going to check this out. And then that was my will taking my journey of knowledge into my hands. And there's no coercion involved in that. That's freedom. Whereas the other people who think they're following the science, they aren't following shit. They're following
a paradigm.
A paradigm.
I'm telling you to break paradigms.
Exactly.
I don't want no fucking paradigms, right? I want freedom.
Exactly.
And where the paradigm exists, the freedom cannot be. So it's a fight. It's a fight for freedom. All of this that's happening, instead of seeing it in this and this fight and this fight, it's always a fight for freedom. Or not. It's a fight to save myself from freedom, so I'm free to ignore, the real essence of freedom. That's why I believe in government. Government has come about purely to say, I will bestow that which you already have inside, but don't want to awaken.